What is the concept of leverage? I see it as a force multiplier, but a lot of people think of leverage as, oh, somebody got the drop on you. Leverage is like going into debt. Could you explain the leverage in the context that you're using it there?
Yeah, well, if you think about time as, our most valuable non-renewable asset, right? That is the one thing that is just constant across the board, is that we've all got the same 24 hours in a day. So when you're looking at, okay, where you should be spending your time, you need to look at how do you maximize that time? You can't create more time, you can only get more leverage from the same inputs, but how do you get more outputs from the same input, right? And that's kind of like a question that I've always been fascinated with, especially when scaling up my business, is where can I get leverage? Do you know what I mean? What are the one-to-one manual tasks that I'm doing that are repetitive, that are getting me, an X amount of output? What is an activity that I can do? And instead of putting 1 unit into the machine and getting 1 unit out or 2 units out, how can I put 1 unit in and get 100 units out? So when I'm talking about leverage, I'm just talking about really just leveraging your time and getting a multiplier on those inputs in terms of your business. So, should you be just checking email all day and have, I see people all the time have their email open as a tab in their browser, which is just your inbox is somebody else's to-do list for yourself. It's not if you're planning your day and you're managing your time, you should be checking that sucker twice a day and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just a demand on your time. And then what else can you be doing to actually create leverage? Do you know what I mean? If you, for instance, it might be, instead of being in a one-to-one sales environment and instead of speaking to a prospect and doing an individual sales pitch with them, how can you actually take that sales pitch and turn it into an asset that works for your business? And what I mean more specifically about that is instead of doing a one-to-one sales pitch, or instead of you, the business owner, delivering that, how can you create that, maybe craft it into a video sales letter or a webinar, and then have that one sales pitch, pitch 500 people a day instead of, 50 people a day. And that was for me really when I made the biggest shift was, I went from making 100 to 150 cold calls a day and calling upon businesses and signing people up. And I realized look, I'm really good at this, but there's only so many hours in the day, right? I'm always against the clock. There's only so many people I can speak to. How do I get leverage? Do you know what I mean? How do I scale this thing up? And that was when I started writing ads. And instead of calling on 100 people a day, I was calling upon 100,000 people in a day that would see that sales message. So that's really what I'm talking about when I talk about leverage.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button and subscribe. We're dropping a video on YouTube every other day. And if you've got any questions about any of the content that I covered in this video, just basically leave a comment with hashtag HeySabri in the comment section. And every week we're also trying to go through all those questions and get them answered. So go ahead, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.